Eric Worre here, and I have a question for you. Have you heard any of these excuses from your team as to why they're not more productive, why they're not selling more, why they're not recruiting more, why they're not duplicating more? Here's the list that I hear a lot. People are just lazy nowadays. Nobody wants to work. I can't get my team to do anything. It's the economy. Things are too expensive. People just can't afford it nowadays. There's too many companies, there's too many opportunities, there's too many distractions out there. People are looking at the shiny objects and they're losing focus on their core business. Or, here's a good one, people are just burnt out. Oh, I'm just overwhelmed and I'm burnt out. You heard any of those? The list goes on and on and on and on. And here I am to tell you that every single one of those things I just mentioned as a reason for the lack of growth in your business is 100% bullshit. Here's the thing. If you're buying what your team is selling you, then you're not leading. You're not controlling the headline. You're not taking charge of the narrative. You're not taking charge of your business, and you're letting weak people infect your entire organization. Here's what's happened post-pandemic. Weak people started getting together and convincing the leaders that it's different. And those leaders starting to get together and convincing the companies that it's different. And some of the companies are overreacting and throwing promotions at it and going crazy. Network marketing's changing. Show me an entrepreneur that hasn't had to pivot every 3 to 5 years for their entire career. This is a pivot moment. Yes, the pandemic created a unique situation. At the beginning, it ignited, fueled lots of growth and prosperity. But at the same time, one of the unintended consequences is that it made people complacent and weak. The leaders did everything while everybody else sat back and stopped lifting weights. And when they stopped lifting weights 3 years later, they're all a bunch of weak, complaining, blaming, justifying people. And I'm not saying everyone, but if you're involved in network marketing, you get what I'm saying. So if you think you can sit back and just keep doing what you've been doing, or you could play defense and just try and hold on to your team, it's already over. Just add time. But if you get loud, if you get strong, if you take charge, the opportunities that are going to present themselves in the next 3 years are literally endless. There's only one question. Are you going to be ready? Are you going to be prepared? Do you know what's working right now in the world today? Are you seeing what's happening and how to use it to your advantage? Or are you waiting for things to get back to the way they used to be? So you want to know more about what exactly you're going to learn in this 3-day experience? This is going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before. Even if you've been to a GoPro event before, or if you've watched online, it's going to be super dialed in to what's happening in the world today and how you can take advantage of it instead of being a victim of it. On day 1, it's all about recruiting. Quantity is the solution to almost all of your problems. Most of you need to recruit more, and you need to teach your teams how to recruit more. Nothing happens unless we make a sale, of course. But the bigger your team gets, the more active your team gets, the more sales that you can make. So all day long, we're going to be going through everything necessary for you and your team to become a recruiting machine, to be able to recruit on demand. Does that sound exciting? I hope it does, because at the end of that day, you're going to be equipped with everything you need. Your team's going to have the same thing as well. Deep dive on recruiting. Day 2, it's all about duplication and team building. If you're frustrated because you can recruit, but your team's not growing the way you'd like it to, or it grows here, or it kind of grows by accident, I'll teach you very specifically how you can become a more effective leader, how you can put systems in place for duplication, how you can literally build a team identity and grow that team exponentially. Duplication, leadership, team building is all what day 2 is about. Day 3 is how do you build an empire? How do you become a leader of leaders? How do you develop massive leadership skills? How do you build your brand? How do you communicate to the world? How do you teach other people how to do the same thing? How do you develop thickness of leadership within your teams? Some of you are good leaders, but you haven't been able to develop other leaders yet. Everybody's just looking at you. And you're wondering, how can I get my team to engage? How can I get them to take action? They all seem to be frozen. Nothing happens unless I make them do it. Well, there's a skill set around this. And we're going to spend all of day 3 teaching you how to build an empire, how to lead leaders who lead leaders. Attending this event is not going to be like attending your average Zoom call, the boring Zoom call that everybody's kind of over. This event is pretty amazing because we built this studio, the studio that I'm in right now, as a response to COVID. We've created this environment, 25,000 square feet, $20 million studio, to make a great experience for you at home. Here's what makes this special. We can bring you into the experience. See all of these people? These people can be you. And this is, right now, this is a simulation, but when we do the event, it's going to be live. So I'm going to be able to pick you out of a crowd, and I'll be able to throw you up on the screen and be able to have a conversation with you. And say, hello, how you doing? Mary in Georgia or in Lithuania or in Japan or wherever you are in the world. And we can have an interaction, or I can pick another person out of the crowd and I can have a conversation with them. Literally, the biggest event we ever did live was 18,000 people at the Las Vegas Convention Center. And it was a nightmare. It was a concrete jungle. There was rows and rows and rows and rows of screens so people could even see something. People on stage were like this big. Every single person here has a front row seat. That's going to be you. Front row seat, I can pull you up at any time. We can interact. And what's fun for me is I can look here and I can see if you're getting the point. This event is live. It's live for a couple reasons. One, it starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time each day. So depending on where you are in the world, that's some strange times. Like it could be in New Zealand, 2 a.m. that you start. We want to make it live because when it's live, we have a different experience, okay? You're going to be involved a little bit more meaningfully in the event when you're engaged with it live versus a replay. Second, we've learned if we send a replay out to you, you're not really going to watch it anyway. And I'm not interested in people just getting a replay and then not watching. I want people to have a real experience. I want you to have a real breakthrough. So it's live. There's no replays. And here's what I tell my friends. I use Australia and New Zealand as an example. They're saying it starts at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. every day. That's crazy. It's completely out of control. Yes, true. But if you flew to Las Vegas, it would cost you a couple $1,000s. If you stayed and you paid all your expenses, maybe it's $3,000, $4,000 to be in Las Vegas for a 3-day event. Your body would be completely upside down that whole time, right? With this, you can stay at home and make your body upside down and save the money. Just decide these 3 days, I'm going to flip my body upside down. I'm going to learn all the information. I'm going to get everything that I need to get, okay? So I really want you to experience this because it's different and it's special. I want you to be plugged in, turn the world off, get focused, get your notes ready. Don't let time zone stop you. Don't let no replay stop you. This is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, okay? Here's the good news. At the Pro Xperience December 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to give you everything you need to get an unfair advantage over your competition. It's all about market share. Inside of your company, you need to be a bigger and bigger percentage of that company. An unfair advantage to become a recruiting machine and teach other people on your team how to do the same thing. An unfair advantage on how to duplicate inside of your business. Instead of just addition and subtraction, you can get multiplication if you do it right. An unfair advantage building your empire. I've helped millions of people to improve their business. I've helped tens of thousands of people get to 6 figures or more per year in network marketing. And I've helped almost 1,000 people get to $1 million a year in network marketing commissions. I can help you. This is your chance to go on a deep dive with me, 3 days. change your life, change your team's complete trajectory. Get you and your team prepared for what lies ahead. If you can carve out just 3 days of your life for the opportunity of a lifetime, then the next 3 years are going to be amazing. It's time to smash limiting beliefs. It's time to refocus. It's time to get leverage. I will ask you, click on the link connected to this video, sign up for this GoPro event, have your team do the same, because this is your wake-up call. I'll see you there.